All right, good evening. Good evening. We are now going to call the meeting to order for our November regular Board of Education meeting. We're going to start with the resuscitation of our vision statement. Every school will be a thriving school that prepares every student to graduate from high school, college, career, and community ready. For tonight, before our public comments, we're actually starting with a recognition and resolution of our National Merit Scholar semifinalists. We are thrilled to continue our recognition of our National Merit Scholarship semifinalists. We have the honor of recognizing 23 remarkable Madison Metropolitan School District scholars who have been named National Merit Scholarship semifinalists. These outstanding students represent the top 1% of academic performers in the nation based on the results from the 2023 preliminary SAT National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. They now have the opportunity to compete for national merit scholarships totaling nearly $30 million to be awarded next spring. Congratulations to all our National Merit Scholarship semifinalists. Your hard work and dedication have truly paid off, and we are incredibly proud of your achievement. Keep striving for excellence. And now I'm going to hand it over. It's my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Joe Gothard.
Thank you, Board President Nichols. Having spent more than 30 years in education, many of my cherished moments, most cherished moments, are seeing how much students would learn and grow every year. I know many of our staff across the district feel the same way. That's why it's an honor this evening to recognize our 23 MMSD students who are National Merit semifinalists. This is a great accomplishment, and we are so proud that we can congratulate all of you in earning this prestigious achievement this evening. Before we hear from some of our students, I'd like to introduce Jay Affelt, our Associate Superintendent of High Schools. He'll give us an overview of the National Merit Program.
Thank you, Dr. Gothard. We are honored to have this opportunity to recognize and introduce our semifinalists in the 24-25 National Merit Scholarship Competition. In fact, we look forward to this every year as it's a way to recognize our students' excellence. First, to you, our students. We want to sincerely thank you for your years of hard work and tenacity. We know this honor does not come easily. Congratulations on being a National Merit semifinalist. The mission of the National Merit Scholarship Competition is to recognize and honor academically talented students in the United States. Their mission is accomplished by conducting nationwide academic scholarship programs. The enduring goals of their scholarship program are to promote a wider and deeper respect for learning in general and for exceptionally talented individuals in particular, to shine a spotlight on brilliant students and encourage the pursuit of academic excellence at all levels of education, and to stimulate increased support from individuals and organizations who wish to sponsor scholarships for outstanding scholastic talent. This year, the National Merit Scholarship Competition announced approximately 16,000 semifinalists out of high school juniors who entered the 2024 National Merit Scholarship Program by taking the 2023 preliminary SAT National Merit Scholarship qualifying test, which served as an initial screening of program entrants. The nationwide pool of semifinalists, representing less than 1% of U.S. high school seniors, includes the highest scoring entrants in each state. After having reached this stage, these talented high school seniors now have the opportunity to continue on to compete for National Merit Scholarships to be awarded this spring. We know these students have worked hard in the classroom, they've challenged themselves academically, and many participate in athletics, co-curriculars, and internships around the community, all in addition to their achievement of being scholars. We invited our National Merit semifinalists to make some brief remarks about this accomplishment. You'll hear from some of these outstanding students next.
Ideally, I'd love to go to film school, and I would love to become a filmmaker. either a director or an editor or a cinematographer of some kind. Any of those areas, I love all visual aspects of film, and I would love to work in that industry in some capacity.
I'm currently pursuing a career in aerospace engineering because I want to be able to create sort of these flying miracles that I've had the luxury of experiencing.
I definitely want to go to college, 4 years something. I think either like cell biology, something like that. Like one of my favorite topics for classes was AP Bio, and so I think I want to major in something around there. And yeah, and maybe want to go into optometry or ophthalmology someday too.
I plan to go to UW-Madison to double major. It's not common in Madison to major in tuber performance and aerospace, so engineering mechanics. And so I'm interested by both of those, and that's next for me. I want to pursue my career in music performance and pursue a degree in engineering mechanics.
I'm hoping to study pre-physical therapy and statistics in college.
In the future, I want to go to school for nursing. Probably at UW-Madison, or I'm gonna apply to Michigan in Minnesota.
I mean, I've got this nice scholarship potentially, so probably going to college. That'll be exciting. Definitely something in the STEM fields. Aside from that, I'm a little undecided. I love numbers, I love data, I love calculations, interacting with all that. These deep level thoughts, they're interesting and exciting to me. So, something in that field.
I don't know what I want for my career, or honestly even for my major, but I definitely want to continue higher education, definitely college, grad school, and just, I don't know, I want to keep taking math. I want to find more of those discussion classes. And yeah, beyond that, I don't really know, wherever it takes me.
I hope to study applied math going forward, but I do want to continue to explore a variety of different areas and get to know people with different majors and different interests and keep my paths open.
For now, I'm not very sure what job I want to do, but I'm applying to college right now, so for most colleges I'm applying as a creative writing or English major and also public health or nutrition. So my interests are kind of varied, but I'm not sure, maybe when I get into college I'll find more where my passions are, but I'm passionate about multiple things right now, so hopefully that stays true.
So for my future plans, I hope to go into neuroscience. I'm planning on probably going into medicine, and also in addition to practicing medicine, hopefully continuing research throughout my life.
I'm interested in studying both economics and environmental science in college, so I'm hoping to kind of combine the two topics and use economics to implement effective policies to combat climate change and implement renewable solutions.
I plan to go to college. I don't know where or details on that, but my main interests throughout most of my life, I guess, have been in math and politics, and so pursuing both of those, maybe some sort of intersection of those. I don't know. I'm really into solving problems, and I think, math is very focused, obviously, on you have a problem and you need to solve it, and then politics is the general avenue we have in our world to solve problems, and so that's sort of how I see it tied together. And yeah, I'm not sure where that will take me, but that's where I'm going, I guess.
After graduation, I think the biggest, what I would like to follow is a pre-med path, biology, studying biology, maybe neurobiology, stuff like that. And then maybe I could throw in some physics, something that's also different, and do a different dabble of subjects, different things like that. But I would like to follow a pre-med path to become a doctor and then also do different things on the side.
Well, I will be attending a four-year university, hopefully studying something in the humanities and also continuing to pursue French. I'm really interested in art history, English, linguistics are all my interests. So,
okay, I think right now I want to go into like a four-year college. I want to get maybe like a bachelor's degree, and then I'm not sure after that because maybe I want like a master's or a PhD, and maybe I just want to like go into a career. I guess I'll see. I mean, it's 4 years away, so I've got a while. Yeah.
I plan on attending a four-year university. My choice of major is biomedical engineering, although I'm not totally set on that. I kind of have the fortunate problem of almost too many interests, which is great, but also makes things decision-making in terms of classes and major choice difficult. So I'm happy. I'm excited to study biomedical engineering as my choice, but yeah, attending a four-year university is my plan.
I plan on attending a four-year college or university, and I'm interested in studying physics, chemistry. My favorite part about school is learning new things about the world around me and making connections with my peers.
I'll now read the names of all of our recipients. And for those of you who are present this evening, please come forward to receive your certificate and remain on stage for a photo. Rajiv Agarwal, Lillian Alderman, Bridget Bullock, Joel Cho, Jay Coleman, Ethan Hansen, Joseph Hegeman, Chloe Hupesh, Grace Wong, Gina Kim Bolt, Maxwell Knight, Daniel Lee, Angela Liang, Asante Malloy, Serena Martin, Merritt Maurer, Adelaide Noiser, Jonathan Saloni, Julian Saloni, Grant Shadman, Aharon Shalef, Cerise Sirik Cry, and Fiona Wong.
So actually, sorry everyone, but we're going to turn the face that way. So the lighting is better. And there's only one.
Thank you. And for those students who are not able to join us this evening, your certificates will be sent to your respective schools after fall break. And anyone can visit the MMSD YouTube page for a video featuring remarks by our National Merit semifinalists. For those of you with us this evening, I now invite you and your families to join us for a reception down the hall in room 130, and I will turn it back to Board President Nichols to read our formal resolution.
Thank you. All right, our resolution is Whereas the mission of National Merit Scholarship Corporation is to recognize and honor academically talented students around the United States by conducting nationwide academic scholarship programs. Whereas these students have worked hard in the classroom, they've challenged themselves academically, and many participate in athletics, extracurriculars, and internships around the community, all in addition to their achievement in being scholars here tonight. Whereas the 23 Madison Metropolitan School District scholars who have been announced as National Merit Scholarship semifinalists, these scholars represent the top 1% of students in the nation for academic performance on the 2024 preliminary SAT National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Madison Metropolitan School District Board of Education recognizes and congratulates these 23 students for being recognized as a National Merit Scholarship semifinalist. Be it further resolved, this statement be permanently imprinted in the Board of Education minutes for the meeting of November 25th, 2024. Congratulations. All right, we will now move into our public inputs part of the agenda. Regarding written statements, there were 11 written statements submitted for this meeting, 11 in support of universal free meals for MMSD students using funds from the passage of the operations referendum. All right, we will move to our online speakers who are registered, and then we'll move to our in-person.
Our first online speaker is Catherine Gann.
Yes, I am a mother and grandmother, and children's nutrition has been a concern of mine for over 50 years. When my daughter was in grade school, we had a poster from the Center for Science and the Public Interest on the side of the refrigerator, which showed sugar percentages of cereals, fruits and vegetables with the vast variety of nutrients, and the food pyramid of that time. As a family, we were lucky to be able to purchase healthy food and to be able to make good choices. I know that it is difficult for anyone to remain focused and alert when they are hungry or their blood sugar is declining. It is so much more so for children and adolescents sitting in a classroom whose minds and bodies are growing and developing. Providing lunches for children is a financial or time tax on working parents. Also, school debt owed by families in the district is currently $190,000 and has occurred in the last 2 years. Presently, the stigma of free lunch or meal debt can cause students to skip meals. This month's election was a positive show of support for the district. Inflation constricts the budgets of working families, and as of January 29, 2024, there were found to be 197,290 food insecure children in Wisconsin, the dairy state. Free school meals will help to enable the district to achieve its goal to prepare students to become graduates with academic or vocational careers and to be healthy citizens of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jamie Hawkins.
Hello.
Oh, you got muted.
Okay. I keep getting muted though. Okay, good. All right. So my name is Jamie Hawkins. I'm an MMSD parent to 2 kids in elementary school. I'm also a member of the Madison community who cares deeply about creating and investing in an equitable public school system. I know our state has defunded MMSD for over a decade, and now the community has shown their support for the district by voting to pass both the facilities and operating referendums. The district should listen to community priorities and use some of that funding for free school meals for all MMSD students. Any barrier to consistent, free, and healthy school meals for Madison students is unacceptable. Charging families for school lunch is an immediate barrier to students who cannot afford it and creates a stigma for students on free or reduced lunch who have high school meal debt. Growing up, I was a student who was on free reduced school lunch, and I vividly remember being told that the balance was low as I was going up to get my food. When the balance was negative, I was handed a slip of paper to bring home to my mom. That highlighted negative number on a half sheet of paper sticks with me still. I remember my mom being frustrated because I was supposed to get free lunches, but they were being processed as reduced. And I remember feeling confused as a child to what it all meant. Would I be refused lunch the next day? Would my mom figure the issue out? Could she fix it? Decades later, the free versus reduced versus full price lunch payment system continues to have many gaps and flaws. Income changes, errors in paperwork, and other circumstances can cause students to accumulate debt, even if they should qualify for free lunch. My children are growing up in a different income level than I did, and they are not eligible for free or reduced lunch. However, they participate in school lunch because eating at school should not be seen as a difference between being advantaged and disadvantaged. I do not want other children to feel like I did when I was a child at school. That's why I think that universal access to healthy meals should be a reality in MMSD schools. In our current political moment, community care is essential. MMSD has an opportunity to take care of our young people by providing free school meals to all, which is particularly vital during a time when the economic future is uncertain and food and economic security may very well continue to rise. I call on MMSD to transition to a free school lunch model by the 2026-2027 school year with the passage of the operating referendum. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final online speaker is Sarah Chodorow. Sarah, are you available to give your public comment?
Okay, we'll move forward to folks who are registered here in person, and then if our online speaker shows back up or becomes ready, we'll cycle them back in. We have 14 registered speakers for tonight. Just as a reminder for our in-person speakers, when you come up to the podium, you'll see there's a clock up here that will give you 3 minutes. There's a little black box on the podium that has lights on it. And when you get to the yellow light, that signals about 30 seconds. And if you're still finishing a thought when your time is up, just try to wrap it up as quickly as you can to make time for the rest of the speakers. All right, our first speaker will be Harmony Johnson and then followed by Nick, I think it's Berrigan, or if I mispronounce, my apologies. Please correct when you come up. Or it could be Berger, sorry. Harmony, we'll go with you.
Good evening. My name is Harmony Johnson. I'm a student from Follett High School, and I'm advocating for the increase of Black teachers in our district. As a Black student at Follett, I have firsthand experience with the lack of Black faculty within our district. Being that throughout my 12 years of education, I have never been placed in a classroom where the head person looked like me or any of the 5 people of color sitting in front of me. My representation of Black staff was my basketball coaches or the security walking the halls of LHS, not teachers. At LHS, about 22% of the student population is Black or African American. Of this group, only 20% have an attendance rate above 90%, and their graduation rate is 13% lower than white students. Additionally, only 2% of the overall teaching staff at LHS are Black. 88% of the teachers who teach AP courses are white, and no AP teachers are Black, which points to a significant racial disparity among faculty. This likely contributes to a lack of representation for the students of color in AP classes. Increasing AP involvement is one of the district's initiatives, is it not? To increase AP recruitment and retainment, we need to hire more Black teachers. The underrepresentation of Black educators further emphasizes the need for increased diversity among teaching staff to reflect the student body better and provide more role models for all students. According to the Economic Policy Institute in 2024, exposure to Black teachers in elementary schools lowers the dropout rate by 39% for Black male students and increases the likelihood that low-income students aspire to attend a four-year college. This matters because if the district is committed to increasing graduation rates and decreasing chronic absenteeism, we must start with the people in front of our students every day. In middle school and high school, I see my Black peers searching for connections outside of the classroom, but we need to bring these connections into the classroom. Retaining teachers of color is a vital issue affecting our schools. Increasing the representation of Black teachers, even by a single percentage point, lowers suspension and expulsion and increases graduation rates for Black students. For these reasons, I compel the board to invest in more Black teachers, be more accommodating to the Black teachers you already have, and begin serious recruitment efforts for new Black educators. I also invite the board members to come to La Follette to discuss further issues, and thank you.
Good evening. My name is Nick Berrigan. I'm a Madison resident, retired from a technology career at UW Health, homeowner, graduate of West High, 1968. And my partner still teaches in the school district. She teaches Mandarin at Memorial. I come today to support this initiative for universal meal programs. For the obvious reasons already elaborated about the impact that hunger has on education, for the reduction of the stigma involved, and for alleviating the issue with accumulating debt. I know that you've recently heard Jill Underlay say that she supports this, so it's a good idea. But we all know that the state of Wisconsin and the United States government is not moving forward very much right now. So Madison is once again in the situation where it needs to be bold and lead for the rest of the country. Please let's move forward on this initiative. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go back to our online speaker, Sarah, and then we'll come back to Robert Bynum, and then following Robert will be Natasha Sullivan.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back to me. I stepped away to help my daughter for a minute. Thank you all for your work for our community and for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Sarah Chodrow, and I've been a member of the Madison community for about 14 years now. And next year, my oldest child will be starting to attend school in the district. I'm here, along with others, to express my support and to urge the board to work towards providing free meals for all students in MMSD. I have had a lot of opportunities, like both in my own life personally and professionally, supporting young people to see the impact that a sense of safety in their school environment has on their well-being, their ability to learn. And I think it's so important to not underestimate the impact of supporting people to meet their basic needs. It's so much easier to learn and to feel valued and feel supported when our basic needs are uplifted. So I think this would go so far to support the work that so many school staff already do to try and be an additional safe place for young people. I also think it's so important in terms of building relationships with all parents of students, for parents to know that they can send their kids to school and know that their kids' basic needs will be met and not have to feel the tension of being worried about showing up in an environment where maybe they're going to be held accountable for a debt. I just think that drives a wedge between parents and the ability to fully engage in their child's school community. I think I've seen MMSD put so much effort into trying to take steps towards increasing school equity, and I think this is a very foundational step. So I just really urge the board to work towards this. And thank you so much for the opportunity to speak.
Hi there. Thank you to the school board for being here and letting me speak tonight. My name is Robert Sorrell Bynum. I'm a Madison resident, and I'm here speaking in support of free school meals for all in MSD. I recently graduated from a graduate program at UW-Madison where I had the chance to teach first-year English classes for students. And I was really surprised that one of the topics that came up a few weeks even into the semester was students trying to figure out where they were going to live for the next year and the difficulty of navigating the Madison housing market. And I bring this up just to point out that Madison and Dane County in general has been consistently the fastest growing area in Wisconsin. And that as we have more people joining our communities, the difficulty in cost of living and housing costs are only going to rise. And so I think it's important that we take steps that we can to ensure that Madison is affordable for families who are currently here, as well as those who are moving in. And steps like free school meals ensure that we are investing as a city and as a school district in making Madison a livable place for families of all income. And that even if families are having to choose between rent and groceries, children know that they can receive nutritious meals at school. So I'd like to urge the school board to support passing preschool meals for the current and future residents, students, and teachers of Madison. Thank you.
And following Natasha will be Elizabeth Bynum Sorrell.
Good evening, y'all. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. I'm here to show my support. You all know I'm here to show my support for free school meals for all. We know that hunger doesn't just affect a child's physical health. It directly impacts their ability to learn, to behave, and to succeed in school. As a former middle school teacher, I saw this firsthand. When a student was acting out, I often asked them, "What did you have for breakfast or lunch?" And too often the answer was candy, chips, or often nothing at all, especially since I was working in a food desert. How can we expect our students to focus when their basic needs aren't being met? Free school meals have proven results. Districts that offer universal meals see better academic performance, improved classroom behavior, and healthier, happier students. And this program has operational benefits as well. By eliminating all the paperwork that is needed to qualify for free and reduced meals, we reduce that administrative burden on families and staff. And this allows our food and nutrition team to focus on what truly matters, improving the quality of those meals and creating a more efficient service that benefits every child. I understand that the cost can seem daunting. I wrestled with this concern myself while working with our coalition. During a conversation with one of our coalition partners, Bianca, I expressed that frustration and how we might be able to afford this. But she reminded me that this isn't about cost. She said, this is what's best for our schools and for our children. Cost should not be a factor. And those words stayed with me. We must find the resources because the cost of not feeding our kids is far greater. This is a collaborative effort with immense support from educators, families, and community organizations. Together, we will do everything in our power to make sure that we secure funding and partnerships to make this program sustainable. I know that the board has many pressing priorities, and I appreciate your work on them. I know that you support this because you signed a resolution saying that you support it. We can make this happen. We can do this. This program is foundational. Healthy, nourished children are better learners, better classmates, and better community members. The impact of this decision will impact far beyond our schools. It will shape the future of our entire community. We cannot afford to wait. I urge you to prioritize free school meals for all children, and let's give every student the fuel they need to succeed. Thank you.
After Elizabeth Bynum Sorrell, we'll have Aphne McMillan Comox. I'm sorry if I messed that up.
Hi, thank you so much, school board members. Thank you for your time this evening. My name is Elizabeth Bynum Sorrell, and I'm here tonight to speak about the importance of universal free school meals here in MMSD. I'm speaking as a community member, a taxpayer, and a member of Madison Area Democratic Socialists of America. Since May, we've been running a grassroots campaign with coalition partners, including Freedom Inc., the Wisconsin Poor People's Campaign, Families for Justice, MTI, and other groups to bring this community demand to the school board. We believe that no child should ever go hungry in school, which is why we are fighting for universal free school meals. Right now, as of early October, students in the district owe over $190,000 in lunch debt. Our community campaign has raised funds to pay down this debt, and in October, we paid down $5,000 of meal debt at East High. No family, though, should be going into debt for their children to eat during the school day. And paying off the debt doesn't solve the issue. What is needed is a policy change. To date, we've also gathered 1,200 signatures on a community petition asking the school board to transition to a universal free school meals model by becoming a community eligibility provision district. Investing in food and nutrition staff in order to meet the expected increase in demand associated with a change to this model without compromising food quality. And I think that is super important. And investing to increase healthy and culturally relevant food options in schools, including pursuing scratch cooking where possible. So what we're asking for is for the district to apply to become a community eligibility provision district this spring and to use funds from the recently passed operating referendum to close the gap from the funds that you would receive from the federal government to make this change happen. So I've said a lot of the kind of like wonky stuff, but like this matters, and I think you're going to hear from a lot of other folks tonight about why this matters. A budget tells a story about what we prioritize as a community. We know that budgeting processes are complex, but the school board here has an opportunity to throw their support behind a community demand to show up for students and families here in Madison and demonstrate the type of community care that is possible in our moment. I have been impressed by the school board's willingness to work on issues like addressing salary compression for staff. I know this is a school board that is committed to doing the right thing for our families and our district, and I'm excited to work with you all and our community partners to make this happen. So let's do it. Thank you all so much.
Following Athne will be Karen Polnitz or Polritz, I think it is.
Hello, school board members. Hello, Superintendent Gothard. My name is Athne McMillan Como, and I'm here today as a member of Madison Area Democratic Socialists of America and a leader in our Free School Meals for Madison campaign to talk about why, with the recent passage of the operating referendum, MMSD must commit to an immediate transition to free school meals for all students. Food insecurity has reached records highs and keeps rising. Dane County Food Pantry saw a 112% increase in household visits from December 2021 to December 2023. And in just the past 2 school years, MMSD students have accumulated more than $190,000 in school meal debt. Are we as a community okay with families going into debt simply so that their children can be nourished at school? Are we okay with the district acting as debt collectors, irreparably harming their relationship with families in the process? Are we okay with the food and nutrition budget, money that should be spent providing Madison children with healthy, nourishing food, being used for means testing families, collecting and settling debt, and processing paperwork? Are we okay with families who should be eligible for free or reduced lunch slipping through the cracks because they are unhoused and cannot timely receive mail, or because they are recent immigrants who, due to language or cultural barriers, have difficulty understanding the process, or simply because with their 2 or 3 jobs and their kids and their bills piling up, a stack of paperwork is the last thing they have time for? Are we okay with children skipping lunch to save their family money or to avoid stigma from their peers about being on free or reduced lunch and then suffering from academic or behavioral difficulties because they are too hungry to focus in class or effectively regulate their emotions? I can tell you that I am not, and based on the comment tonight and the nearly 1,200 signatures, or more than 1,200 actually, we have gathered on our petition, I don't think I'm alone. I commend the school board and the district's stated focus on equity, but without action to back it up, and I do commend the action you've taken so far, words ring hollow. The Department of Public Instruction's 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey found that students who identified with multiple races were almost 6 times as likely as their white peers to report going hungry most of the time or always. School meal debt disproportionately affects students of color, students from poor families, students from immigrant families, and other groups that I know the district wants to protect and include. And universal free school meals would ensure that these students and all MMSD students are guaranteed a free, healthy, nutritious breakfast and lunch at school, whether their family can pay or not. It would also give Madison parents some much needed relief. Knowing that their kids will have at least 2 free, healthy meals each school day means 1 less demand on working families' limited time and stretched budgets. The community has shown their support for the school district by voting resoundingly in favor of the 2 funding referendums. Now it is time for the district to show up for Madison's families. The children of Madison deserve this, and they need this, and they need it now. Thank you.
Hello, MMSD School Board and Superintendent Gothard. My name is Karen Polnitz, and I am a Madison School District mom, and I'm also here representing Families for Justice. I wish to thank you first for the free meals that are currently provided for students in community eligibility provision schools. I'm the mother of a kindergartner, and I'm very grateful to have received this benefit the past 2 years. With 2 full-time working parents in our household, not having to think through and prepare lunches every school day is a huge assistance to our family. Last year, especially as I navigated significant mental health challenges, having access to free meals for my child that I would not be indebted for down the line was a blessing I am deeply thankful for. This year, though I am in better health, the time saved from not preparing lunches offers me a greater ability to play with my child, to connect with my child, and to nurture my child. It is my wish that all students and families in our district would have this benefit extended to them. During the isolation period of the COVID-19 pandemic, we were made acutely aware of the immense need and the disparities faced by many students in our communities in accessing basic human rights. Food insecurity should not exist within the context of our schools. As places of nourishment and growth for all children, we must ensure that at minimum, their basic needs are met. Providing universal free school meals for all students can begin to address those basic needs in a powerful way. Right now, even families who have significant need and might qualify face barriers and hurdles of paperwork and stigma to access free or reduced meals, often stuck with huge debt at the end of a semester and no way to pay. If we can reduce barriers for our families, we have an obligation to do so. And this will truly provide equitable educational access for all MMSD students. Thank you for your time and your consideration of this crucial step for our community.
Next up is Joseph DiZoglio and then James Shenfield.
Hello, my name is Dr. Joseph DiZolio. I'm a former City Year AmeriCorps member who taught Algebra 1 in high school. I'm now a practicing Wisconsin physician and a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. After our organization canvassed in favor of the Madison school referenda, we now seek your support for universal free school meals in Madison. In my medical career, I have witnessed the long-term health effects of poor literacy and failure to graduate. Medical data is also clear that early childhood obesity can have severe long-term health impacts like diabetes and high blood pressure. A free school meals policy can target these root causes of lifelong poor health. Free school meals has been thoroughly studied by numerous international research teams. As a universal policy, it reduces bureaucratic waste when compared to a means-tested program that has to vet the income of every student's family. Free school meals improve student attendance, the quality of student diets, and reduce student behavioral incidents and suspensions. I have reviewed some of the data from the United States as well. When looking at low-income Californian students from the 5th, 7th, and 9th grade from 2013 to 2019, researchers at the University of Washington identified that schools who implemented universal free school lunches had a decreased rate of obesity. Students at these participating schools had a 2.4% chance of weight reduction compared to non-participating schools. There are also local University of Wisconsin researchers who have studied the effects of free meals in our community specifically. In elementary schools who used President Obama's initiative for free school meals under the community eligibility provision, low-income students in Wisconsin were found to have better school attendance, which is the first step to succeeding in class and ultimately graduating. In conclusion, I speak alongside many other concerned citizens, expecting you to use this new influx of educational funds to commit to a universal meal program for all our students. Thank you.
James Shenfield, and then we have Astrid Cooper Lofton.
Hello, school board members. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I'm here as a Madison community member. My background, educational and career-wise, is in education, though I don't work in that field right now. And I would like to speak about how I have personally seen the difference that having a good lunch can make for a student. When I was teaching classes, the difference between the morning classes and the afternoon classes were stark. You could tell the number of times that I asked a student what he had for lunch and he said red hot Takis, and then I look back 10 minutes later and his head's on his desk. I can't count. We all know that universal school meals is a good policy. We all know it's an equitable policy. We all know that it will help the students that need it most. And the Madison community, as the other speakers have said, have voiced overwhelming support for the school district. We have those signatures, 1,200 signatures. We have a room full of people here today that have come to speak in support of this policy, plus written comments from people that couldn't be here today. You've all seen how important this is to this community, and you all know how important it is to the students that are in the schools that you all serve. We here in Madison like to think of ourselves as having a commitment to equity. And I applaud the steps that the school district has taken towards having an equitable system, but it's not enough. We need to keep pushing and keep looking every single day for ways to help our students, to help the children of our community, and to improve their educational outcomes. After all, that's what school is for. And we all know that free school lunches will help improve both students' quality of life and educational outcomes. And I strongly urge the school board to use this money that has been granted by this referendum to find the ability to provide free school lunches for all students. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Astrid Hooper-Lofton. I am a alumni of MMSD and a recent graduate from UW-Madison. I majored in Human Development and Family Studies, and I was lucky enough to be able to work with Dr. Jennifer Gaddis on the scratch cooking project at Nuestra Mundo that happened last year, and I had an amazing time. It was really life-changing to get to see the impact that just like a simple switch in the food that was being served had on the students who were there. They became incredibly excited to have the lunches. They were really chatty. We got wonderful drawings from them that are super cute of like, you know, the little tacos and mac and cheese. And they kept saying how excited they were to be having fresh, unpackaged food. And so I'm here to add my voice to all the people who are here in support of universal free school meals. And I also want to encourage a focus on trying to implement as much scratch cooking and local sourcing of ingredients as possible within the, you know, limitations that we have in the city. I really think that by creating a universal free school meal program, more students will begin to participate. And if you had scratch cooking on top of that, even more students will show their interest. And it's a way to really create a huge amount of difference within the program by having a universal free school meal that is locally sourced and the students can feel that it is fresh and it's not packaged in plastic. Because when I was a student, everything was packaged in plastic. And I know that that is still the case because I worked for MSCR the past year in a middle school after school program. And a lot of the times the food was dumped. And that is so tragic because if you're serving the food but kids don't want to eat it, you might as well not serve the food. And so if we want to make a effective universal free meals program, we really need to focus on having food that's culturally relevant, is appetizing, and is not wrapped in plastic. So I just want to add my voice to everyone else who's calling for this change and just encourage that we focus on, making it scratch cook in all ways that are possible. Thank you.
Next up is Janae Thompson, and then I believe it's Sonia or Sonia Worthy.
Hello. Conversations around food, especially in schools, have always centered the importance of nutrition as well as the levels of access necessary to obtain food. Stigma associated with school meal debt makes it hard to participate in daily school activities and unfairly sets youth apart from their peers. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction's 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey reports that 1 in 4 students reported experiencing hunger due to lack of food in the home during a 30-day period. And 2.6% of students reported going hungry most of the time or always. I believe that food and food access is and should be a human right, meaning that how we talk about and implement policies around universal lunch programs is just as significant as the demands needed to make our youth feel empowered and supported. I remember being a student learning about the food pyramid, learning that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, or that food is the fuel that our bodies need to learn and thrive. And these experiences made me realize that any student who has to sit in class hungry or go without food is ultimately failed by the decision makers around them, who prioritize money over their well-being and development. Our youth shouldn't have to worry about access to food for themselves, their siblings, or their classmates. Currently, the MMSD school nutrition program is challenged with administrative costs as they are forced to restrict families by income limitations and operate as debt collectors throughout the year and punish children for things outside of their control. Other external factors such as inflation also take a toll on the financial responsibilities of families to provide lunch or pay off school lunch debt. Based on a 2024 study by educationdata.org, there are over 200,000 food insecure children in Wisconsin, with an estimated $109 million in school lunch debt across the state. Families currently owe MMSD over $190,000 in school meal debt that has all accumulated in less than 2 school years. With the Midwest region being among the highest regions struggling with unpaid school lunch debt, MMSD has a real opportunity to be a trailblazer towards more holistic care for our young people, as well as alleviate some of the external factors, insecurities, and financial burdens associated with school meal debt. MMSD's stated commitment and goals around equity reads, our vision is that every school will be a thriving school that prepares every student to graduate ready for college, career, and community. And goes on to say, the district and every school in it is a place where children, staff, and families thrive, African-American children and youth excel in school. Instituting free school meals for all is vital to achieving the district's own goals. School meal debt disproportionately affects students of color, students from poor families, and other marginalized and highly impacted groups. We showed up and voted to pass the 2 MMSD referendum questions, and now it is your turn to show up for us. Thank you for your time.
Okay, hi, my name is Sonia Worthy. I'm a mental health social worker in Madison. I'm speaking to advocate that MMSD invest in free school lunches for our students. I'm going to keep this brief as it's well known that hunger has lasting impacts on children with their physical, social, cognitive, and behavioral development. And it was impressive to see the National Merit semifinalists today. And it seems to me that many other students would be in a much better position to similarly excel if they had access to nutritious food from day one. I'm confident in the school board that with the help of community members, they can find creative solutions to end food insecurity in our schools and end the burden of school-based food debt on families. Thank you.
Next up, Monka Donwe. I'm sorry if I just mispronounced. Please correct me. And then, oh my God. She fell. Okay, then, is everybody okay? Okay. Following will be Aparna. Pal, I apologize again for any pronunciation, and then our final speaker will be Bianca.
Put that up. Okay. My name is Amarius, and I'm a 10th grader at La Follette High School. I also work as a youth organizer at Freedom Inc. The $100 million that MMSD received through the operational referendum this month should be invested into getting rid of the $240,000 school lunch debt in the district and give every family in MMSD access to free school meals. Every family should be eligible to receive free school meals because it is a human right to have food. While children are in school for 7 to 8 hours a day, they deserve a nice lunch that doesn't cost them or will potentially put their parents or guardians into debt. I want students to be free of the stigma and shame of not being able to afford food at school. When I was in elementary school, I remember standing in line for lunch and seeing the girl in front of me being handed a hamburger bun with peanut butter on it because she couldn't pay for her food. She began to cry and then had to carry on through the rest of the school day without the nutrition she needed. Once again, the right choice is for the school district to use the operational budget referendum money to clear all the school meal debt and provide free school meals to every student in MMSD. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Aparna Paul, and I'm a member of the surrounding Madison community area as well as the Madison DSA. I'm here today to speak in support of the Free School Meals for All campaign. With a 112% increase in food pantry usage amongst Dane County households since 2021, I believe every Madison student has a right to feel food secure, including within the school. Is this a little better? Great. I urge you to prioritize this initiative and move towards becoming a community eligibility provision district. At the end of the day, the more safety nets we can implement as a community for community care, the more families and more students and more people in general within the community can be cared for and protected from financial hardship. In this current time and as inflation continues to increase, I think that's something that we should prioritize as a community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Bianca.
Hello, my name is Maithal, and I'm a youth justice organizer at Freedom Inc., and I'm a Madison resident. I have lived in Madison for almost my entire life and went to the Madison Metropolitan School District. With the $100 million that MMSD is receiving, I urge that the board take action and use this money to fund universal free school meals for MSD students K through 12. When I was a young person and was attending the MSD schools, I remember worrying about lunch. I have shared in my last testimony in June that my family made just above the average free reduced lunch one year during my high school years, so my siblings and I were struggling to eat lunch. Worrying about money and not being able to eat was hard. I did not get the nutrients I needed to pay attention in class and participate as much as I wanted to. With that being said, I believe that all students right now should get free school meals. They should be able to eat without worrying about how their food is going to get paid or worry about when their next meal will be. By MSD paying for students' meals, this will help families know that their child is getting the nourishment that they need to be able to pay attention in classes. Also, by this being covered, families will be relieved that their child can graduate with no debt keeping them from graduating. This is a way of investing into your students' wellness. This is a way you can help a family or families be happy and thrive without worrying about their child's well-being at school. Again, I urge the I urge that the board take action and use this money to fund universal free school meals for MMSD students K through 12. Thank you.
All right, I think that concludes all of our speakers. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and to share your thoughts, demands, and hopes with us. We really appreciate it. We also had one registration from somebody, Michael Davis, who did not wish to speak, but also was in support of free meals for all. So just wanted to recognize that. All right, I'm going to move us into the next part of our agenda, which is approval of our minutes. Move that the Board of Education approve the minutes from the regular meeting dated October 28th, 2024.
Second, Maya.
Any discussion on the minutes? All right, Megan, your advisory vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. All right, that passes 7-0.
No, we weren't.
All right, we're going to move into board president's announcements. First, we want to start with a thank you. Really on behalf of the entire Board of Education, we extend our deepest appreciation to our community on the successful passage of the 2024 referenda. Yes. We understand the financial challenges that many of us face, and we know this was not a light decision. And your support is an investment in our students, our community, and our public education. And we are very, very grateful to all of you. And we also extend our appreciation to the Madison Public Schools Foundation and Madison Teachers, Inc. Thank you so much.
So I'll go into celebrating our community. November is Native American Heritage Month. The board would like to acknowledge the contributions and history of our Indigenous peoples, especially the Ho-Chunk Nation and the 11 Indigenous First Nations within what is now referred to as the state of Wisconsin. I'd also like to give a quick enrollment update. For the second year in a row, MMSD realized an enrollment increase in full-time equivalent, that's FTE, students over the prior academic year. This year, the district is up 125 students from 25,565 students to 25,690 students. This data is part of the annual third Friday of September reporting that all districts send to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, DPI. This year's enrollment figures not only contradict a projected decrease in students, they show that enrollment is stabilizing following several years of declines that are influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic. So kudos to us in the community.
Thanks. And we'll finish up with some other acknowledgements. In tonight's consent agenda, the board would like to acknowledge and thank all individuals and organizations that have donated to our district. Our large donations and grants tonight include a $48,600 donation from the Roots and Wings Foundation to support physical and behavioral health services provided through our MMSD school-based health centers in our high schools, which is amazing. And we also have a $10,607 donation from the Friends of MSCR to support various MSCR programs and initiatives throughout our district. So thank you very much. And with that, I'll pass it over to our superintendent, Dr. Gothard, for your announcements.
Thank you very much, President Nichols, members of the board, staff, and community. Again, I don't think I can say it too many times. Thank you for a successful referendum. The support of community organizations and partners, I've never seen before, and I'm so grateful for so many who stepped out and stepped side by side with us. Madison voters supported question number 1, increasing our base revenue by $100 million with 69% yes votes. Question number 2 authorizes $507 million to renovate or replace 10 MMSD buildings, and that had a 72% yes vote. I think that's just amazing, and yet doesn't surprise me either, because one thing I know about the Madison community is they support our school district, they support our staff, and they definitely support our students. Thank you to our Board of Education, the referendum planning team, all those who participated in our numerous engagement sessions, and most of all, our community who got out and voted. I'd also like to thank the board for supporting my early start so I could be responsible for the referendum. I do think the early start made a difference. And thank you, as President Nichols mentioned, to the Madison Public Schools Foundation, MTI, and so many others that directly supported our work. I'm so grateful for and excited for our 25,000 students, actually more than that, 25,600 and tell me the number. I want to get it right.
25,690.
Yes. 6,300 staff, tens of thousands of parents, caretakers, and our supportive community partners. So what does this all mean? The operations yes vote is the vote for operations means we can continue to retain and attract high quality staff to inspire and educate our students. We can sustain and expand the important programs that we have built to positively impact all of our students. And this includes things like 4K, early literacy, multilingual education, middle school opportunities, and career exploration, and expansion of co-curricular activities and learning opportunities. We are really looking at how this is going to impact the entire district. What does it mean for facilities with that 72% yes vote? Of course, we're excited for the 10 of our schools that will be transformed with the yes vote for the district facilities. These spaces will be designed to provide modern and flexible teaching and learning spaces for our students and staff. Buildings will be accessible and inclusive, and updated heating and cooling will provide comfortable learning environments. Your voices are important, and we will engage with each community to help determine the final design of each of these facilities. And I do have to mention, we have work ahead of us. We do. We're certainly excited, and we know there's a lot of work ahead. And although the referendum passed, it's important for the community to know that we are still operating with a structural deficit. Our revenues are not keeping up with our costs. We, along with other public school districts throughout the state, continue to be woefully underfunded by the state. Our team will continue together to engage with the community to determine how to best move forward and plan for our future. Our students really matter. Students across the state matter. All deserve the best education possible. It's foundational to their overall success and our community's overall success. Again, thank you for supporting our students, our staff, our community, and public education. Together, we can make MMSD a destination school district, a district of choice. I'm passionate about this work, and coming home has made me realize just how personal this work truly is to me. Now, moving on, the referendum is beyond us, the vote, that is. But now I've got to transition from referendum mode to implementation and transition mode. I've delayed some of the more traditional ways I might have chosen to transition back to MMSD. I've had the opportunity to visit many spaces throughout MMSD and the community, and now I will carefully consider my next series of school and community visits. Here's an update of how I've been spending my time since our election. The Forever Wisconsin Group. One of my ways of working moving forward is through legislative advocacy. We must continue to advocate to our state legislature to provide the much-needed funding to support public education. I participated in the Forever Wisconsin event at the Capitol last week. It was an opportunity to join the Madison Public Schools Foundation to discuss K-12 public education, support, and how we can continue to work together. And it was a great introduction for me with many lawmakers that are new to me, but nonetheless, people who are in a room to support public education, definitely laying the important groundwork. School-based health clinics. Assistant Superintendent Cindy Green and I convened a group of our health partner executives who have a role in our school-based health clinics, GHC, SSM Dean, UW Health, Access Community Health, and some local physicians participated. We committed to meeting quarterly as a problem-solving team to ensure we are maximizing our partnerships and also coordinating needs with the highest priority. As one example from this meeting that was alarming to me, and I want everyone to know, was the revelation how many MMSD children have asthma diagnosed but lack access to inhalers. And we have to do better as a community, and this is one group that can help lead the way in making sure that our students are healthy and have the tools they need to remain healthy. The Dane County Immigration Affairs Office Awards Program, one of the many reconnections in MMSD for me has been with Fabiola Hamden and her involvement in LCA, the Latine Consortium for Action, and La Soup, the Latine Support Network of Dane County. I first met Fabiola when she was a Dane County social worker at Joining Forces for Families many years ago, and boy, was she amazing. She's now even more amazing leading the Dane County Immigration Affairs Office, and she invited me to their awards program last week. Fabiola and her team are doing impressive work that is so important and meaningful in our community to ensure that children and families have the resources they need to be successful and are treated as human beings by a caring community. Recently, our School of Education, UW School of Education, hosted the Rockwell Awards on a recent Saturday morning at the UW School of Ed. They honored 4 of our Madison teachers with Rockwell Awards for their work as cooperating teachers who are assigned student teachers. Our award winners this year were Michelle Blevins, 3rd grade teacher at Marquette Elementary, Ben Yeager, band teacher at Val Phillips Memorial High School, Dave Ropa, 7th grade science teacher at Spring Harbor Middle School, and Rachel Schramm, an art teacher at Malcolm Shabazz City High School. It was an excellent program and also a mini conference where I had the chance to reconnect with a true legend in the field of multicultural education, Dr. Carl Grant. He asked me to join him in leading an open discussion about how participants managed the week leading up to and following the election. It was a healing conversation and how I wish we could create more spaces like this on a regular basis. Really felt the formation of community on that Saturday. The keynote speaker that day was none other than Shabazz and State Teacher of the Year, Brian Councilman, who gave an excellent talk, and I may ask him to share it as part of our strategic planning because he frames his approach to teaching in such an authentic way. Recently, I attended the National Superintendent of the Year Gala and Forum. While we were there to celebrate, there were also several sessions and speakers as part of the forum, sessions on chronic absenteeism, history of suburban growth, federal laws, and I presented on Destination MMSD. The gala was a memorable experience for me, and I'm grateful for MMSD being such an integral part of who I am as a person and professional. The Regent Neighborhood Association connected with community members last week with lots of great questions, including driver's education, sustainability, civics, and asking how they can support MMSD. And just to give you a sense, we had a student there, a junior, August, joined us, and we had parents and grandparents who have lived in the neighborhood for more than 50 years, who were just there to share their time and understand how they can contribute to their great neighborhood and support West High School. These opportunities are a great way to meet our community members right in their neighborhoods and are another way to build community connection and raise awareness about MMSD. And I have to also thank Shiva Bader, a longtime resident of that neighborhood and a great supporter of MMSD, for convening the meeting along with Principal Kigea at West High School. The Madison Reading Project 10-year anniversary party. Over the summer, I had the chance to meet Rowan Childs and Deirdre Steinmetz from the Madison Reading Project. Their work in our community to ensure children have access to high-quality books is truly amazing. Last week, they had their 10-year anniversary party. Mayor Sadia Rhodes Conway presented the organization with a proclamation for the great work it has done and continues to do. Madison Reading Project started with just one part-time staff member. Today, they have 14 staff members, and they've given away, if I could do a drum roll, I would, 600,000 books to the Madison community. MMSD Associate Superintendent Chelsea Tubbs was recognized for her advocacy and support of the Madison Reading Project in our schools. The organization is intentional and strategic in providing culturally relevant books so that every child can see themselves in the pages of the books they read, which creates a sense of belonging. We know literacy is the foundation children need to be successful in life. Congratulations to Madison Reading Project on 10 years in our community, and MMSD looks forward to our continued partnership. Homelessness Awareness Month is also upon us. This is National Homelessness Awareness Month. In MMSD, more than 800 students are currently experiencing homelessness. It's expected to rise to 1,400, or 5% of our student population by the end of the school year. We hung ribbons outside of the Doyle Building on November 6th. Each ribbon represents a student experiencing homelessness. The different shades of purple symbolize the student's grade level, reminding us that homelessness affects children of all ages. Inside the Doyle Building, there's another display showing the grade level of each of our homeless students. One of our key resources in MMSD is our Transition Education Program, or TEP. For 35 years, TEP has been a vital lifeline. While the McKinney-Vento Act ensures access to education for homeless students, TEP provides stability, support, and a path to success. And I think I have to also add a relentless attitude about the possibility and opportunity for children experiencing homelessness. Through school social workers, TEP provides clothing, hygiene projects, school supplies, and other essentials that students and families need. They facilitate connections to things like transportation, food pantries, housing assistance, and healthcare and childcare services, addressing the multitude of factors that contribute to residential insecurity. TEP is holding a donation drive for hygiene items and warm clothing at the Doyle Administrative Office through December. Hygiene products, things like hair, skincare, feminine products, laundry detergent, body wash, deodorant, toothpaste and toothbrushes, and hair accessories, new products that is, and winter clothing as well, winter boots, snow pants, coats, and waterproof gloves. Community members are interested in supporting the center are encouraged to reach out to TEP at tep@madison.k12.wi.us. President Nichols, members of the board, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Gothard. Very descriptive tonight. Appreciate all the details. All right, let me get us back to our other parts of the agenda. So first, we're going to report on items that proceeded through the instruction work group held on November 4th, 2024, and I'll pass it over to Chair Muldrow.
Thank you, Board President Nichols. At our last instruction work group, which, feels like a lifetime ago because it was the day before the election, we looked at literacy, math, the Badger Rock charter renewal process, and our class size report. In the month of December, we will be looking at our culture and climate survey, chronic absenteeism, discipline data, and I have a little note about some possible policy that'll show up on that agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have action items that proceeded through the operations work group held on November 11th, 2024. I'll pass that over to Chair Castro.
Thank you, Board Chair Nichols. At our operations work group on November 11th, we got an update from M3 and Human Resources regarding insurance, health insurance. We went through the guiding principles for the 25-26 budget development, and then we got a facilities and referenda update with the passage of both referenda this past month. We will not have a meeting in December, but we will have our next meeting January 13th, 2025.
Thank you. All right, we had one action item that did proceed through the operations work group, and that is health insurance, and a request for proposal for health insurance. So I'm going to just go ahead and read the motion, and then we'll take it from there. I move for the district to engage in the RFP process to obtain proposals for employee health benefits for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second, Maya.
All right, any discussion? All right, Board Member Muldrow.
I just want to thank the team for the process that it takes to go to RFP. And I also want to make sure that we're taking into consideration not just the price, but the quality of service and coverage that we're providing. So just want to put that out there in terms of how this comes back to us.
All right, any other discussion or questions? All right, seeing and hearing none. Megan, your advisory vote.
Aye.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. And it looks like that passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, moving on to our consent agenda. I move that the Board of Education adopt and approve all of the motions set forth in Section 10 of the electronic agenda prepared for the November 25th, 2024 regular board meeting exactly as said motions are written. By voting affirmatively on this motion, a board member expresses his, her, or their affirmative vote on each of the motions consolidated, hereby subject to any express separations that have been made by any member of the school board.
Second, Nikki.
Thank you. All right, are there any expressions of full? Yes.
10:18 and 10:19.
Okay, I'll get it. Okay, so 10,
10:18 and 10:19.
okay. And then Laura, board member Simkin, I'm sorry.
Yes. No, that's good. 10:13, please.
Okay. All right, then Megan, your advisory vote.
Aye.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. That passes unanimously. Let me go to 10.13. I move that the Board of Education approve an expenditure in the amount of $89,056 for the We Start Daycare to support parenting students and their infants using funding from the 2024-25 capital budget.
Second.
Board Member Simkin, I believe this is the one that you wanted separated.
It is. I just need to recuse myself.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, hold on one second. Okay, thank you. All right, Megan, your advisory vote.
Aye.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. All right, that it passes 6-0. Thank you, with Board Member Simkin recusing. All right, we will move on to 10.18.
Yes.
Son, I need to read the motion first. Sorry. Thank you. I move that the Board of Education approve an amendment to existing PO 2500441 in the amount of $360,000 for a new total of $420,000 for the purchase of services with Ever Driven Technologies, Inc. for the 2024-25 school year using funding from the fiscal year 25 student services budget.
I pulled this.
Second, Maya.
Board Member Vandermeulen.
Sorry for jumping the gun. I should know better. I pulled this because I have some questions. One, thank you. I'm glad that we're doing it. But number two, I want to make sure, question is that funding will include funding to create the app needed so that they can trace special education routes like we can trace the regular bus routes?
So the increase is just for the current services that we currently have. So it's no new work. It's just to increase the current PO.
Okay. Is there any, in the future, can we look into adding funding if need be to create an app so you could check the location of special ed vehicles?
So I'm not gonna say yes or no. We can look into it, especially because of how we use for that particular transportation. It's not like ours. So we have to figure that out, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. I appreciate it, TJ.
And before you go, Dr. McCray, so this is I want to just make sure I also clarify this. This particular company is not first student.
It's not first
Additional company that we're using for our special ed
individual one-on.
transportation, but the name of the company sounds like it's technology-based because they're called Ever Driven Technologies, LLC. So because I know in my board briefing, I also had a question about the company and exactly what they did, but they're actually transporting.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions or comments?
None, and that's why I pulled 19 as well, so they can just do both together.
Okay, I think I have to read each one separately since I separated them. So let's go with 10.18. Megan, your advisory vote.
Aye.
All right, all those in favor? All right, thank you. That passes unanimously. Let me go back to 10.19. I move that the Board of Education approve the purchase of services with Hop Skip Drive, Inc. in the amount of $210,000 for the 2024-2025 year using funding from the Student Services and TEP.
Second, Nikki Vandermeulen.
All right, discussion or questions, Board Member Vandermeulen?
None.
Okay. Megan, your advisory vote.
Aye.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. That passes unanimously. All right. Thank you, board members. That gets us through our consent agenda. Moving on to up reports. For the City County Schools Collaborative Committee, Board Member Simkin and I are on that committee, and the meeting that was scheduled on November 6th was not held. We canceled that meeting due to not reaching quorum, and we do have our next regular scheduled meeting on December 11th. Nothing else to report at this time. Student Senate.
Yeah, so we had two meetings, one on November 6th, one on November 20th. So on November 6th, students went through case studies where they experimented a little bit with the problems that they've been facing in the district and tried to come up with either policy changes that could be proposed or different initiatives, things that could be created to change the issues that they are currently experiencing, and then did some time in committees. And then on November 20th, we had a more in-depth conversation regarding charter proposals, just because I know that's a big topic right now. And then they were working in committees as well. On December 4th, we have our next meeting.
Thank you. All right, we have a report out from our Citizens Ad Hoc Committee to name Southside Elementary School.
Skip that, MSC.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped Madison School and Community Recreation Advisory Board Member Mosner Feltham.
Thanks. MSCR continues to provide fun, unique after-school programming with new clubs and sports. The MSCR Girls Middle School After-School Basketball program will start December 4th, and the boys middle school and the high school MSCR basketball program start after winter break in January. MSCR winter and spring youth and adult program registration begins for MMSD residents on December 2nd at noon. Everybody get ready. Get your selections picked. That's a reminder for me too. I gotta do that if I want to get on the pontoon boat. Adult winter basketball and volleyball league registration is happening right now. Get your team together and register. MSCR's next Friday night features is December 6th. For $5, people can register to try fun, unique, and energetic classes. This month, register and try family or youth baton twirling. It filled up last month. Decades Bar Fusion, or a family glow dance party. Register at mscr.org. It's really fun. The Friends of MSCR auction just closed last week, 10 days ago, maybe a week and a half. The Friends of MSCR auction raised about $25,000 in the past month to support MSCR programs in our schools and in the community. We thank everyone who participated in this year's auction.
And lastly, MSCR is supporting MMSD's TEP hygiene drive by utilizing MSCR community facilities as drop-off locations. And you can help by donating personal hygiene items like shampoo, conditioner, soap, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, and other hygiene products to MSCR Central, MSCR East, MSCR West, or WPCRC on Northport Drive.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll come back to the Citizens Ad Hoc Committee to name Southside Elementary School.
Good evening, President Nichols, school board members, Superintendent Gothard, and the Madison community. Our update is brief today. The committee has been looking at the rubric and scoring the different proposals. And we'll be meeting again next week after the fall break to look at those scores and then determine next steps. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have our Policy Committee.
Yeah, so we have created our policy committee calendar. So that's pulling from policies from both our work groups and then also looking at how we can structure the policy moving forward. And we are also scheduling the 2025 policy board meeting so that we will have an extra board meeting dedicated to policy. To allow so that our instruction work group and our operation work group have the amount of time needed for them to do the reports. And then we'll also have board policy 2601 and 3031, I believe, in our next board meeting in January, where we will be looking at rescinding one and possibly some updates to the other. So those are things to look out for.
Fine, no more long distance phone calls.
Yes, finally, no more, hopefully, policy. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, the Board Governance Committee, which is also board member Simkin and I, we haven't met recently, but we do have some planning meetings coming up, so there's nothing to report for tonight. Maybe next meeting. All right, we have no other business for tonight, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Megan, your advisory vote?
Aye.
All right, thank you. All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Beautiful, thank you. We are adjourned.